Hey, good morning, friends. Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo. And as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, this literally does not work. Let's get open for business and let's wake up the football guys. Wake up, guys. On this Halloween, happy Halloween, everybody. Trick or treat? That's the question you have to ask about our Dallas Cowboys as well. Sometimes we get tricks, and sometimes we certainly get treats. So last night, you guys know I do a fireside chat most of the time, and it's thing that I do and I've always done is I like at the end of the day to just go sit down, calm down, and reflect on the day. You know, we only have X number of days in our life. And so I like to try and think that I don't waste any of them because I can't ever get it back once it's gone. And so me sitting outside, fire going, sometimes I have a little drink. And whoever made the comment that I need to slow my roll on drinking because I'm a drunk, buddy, I don't drink that much. I might have one, maybe two drinks a week, and that's actually a lot for me. But I'm glad you're worried about me. But I was out there and I was going through, kind of had a rough day today or yesterday, and reflecting about problems that we deem that we have. You know, the Cowboys haven't won a Super Bowl forever. We suck. You know, we lost to the Jets and things like that. But as I get ready to go to Puerto Rico and looking at some of the people that we're going to be helping, I realized last night that we don't have any problems. And so I got a lot of great comments and things out there and stuff. Now, YouTube is a great thing. YouTube, the fact that I can be here in my basement, my man cave, and communicate to all of you great fans across the world still amazes me from a guy who we grew up without computers and having four stations on TV. It's still freaking amazing to me. And I absolutely positively love doing this and sharing with you guys. That is my ultimate goal, is to spread the mojo. A lot of people don't necessarily like that. A lot of people just want to hate for no other reason to just hate. And I don't understand that because I'm from a different generation, I guess. And been having people who have been emailing me, texting me, commenting, and talking about, oh, this guy Cole Pizzle, he's done, said some stuff that you got to respond. And it's like, yeah, okay. I don't respond necessarily to somebody coming in, yelling and screaming at me. Here's the thing that's kind of cool about what I think, or at least I think is kind of cool. I bring people on all the time, not looking for anything in return. New YouTubers and things you guys have seen, my YouTuber spotlight where I brought on, new channels and other people, music artists, Bleacher Report writers like, Mike Fisher trying to get his channel and stuff, up and going and things like that. I do that. And I'm a human being. So if you want something from me, say, hey, dude, why don't we work together? As opposed to somebody saying you're an idiot, that you're overrated, that your content sucks. That's not how you try and work with somebody. Or at least the generation that I have. But I got from this video, and I'm sorry I'm kind of meandering a bit this morning, but on this video, we got Cold Piss made a comment on this because that was one of those reflective moments, where I'm just kind of thinking about going to Puerto Rico and dealing with problems in life and everything else. And I'm sharing that content with you because what you see here on YouTube is me. Hair needs to be cut. Sometimes I need to shave. I'm not perfectly dressed. You'll see me with sometimes a paint stained shirt because I'm working. I think my butt crack's been out there a couple times on my day job and things. It's real. It's unedited. It literally, I tape record this, I send it up, and I get on my way. So you're going to see that sometimes the audio is messed up. Sometimes the lighting might not be right because it's real. It's true. It's not make-believe. So I got this comment which kind of put things in a little bit different light in Cold Piss. You got it, Mark. People should be more like me, honestly. Out here making good quality content and not begging for super chats or asking YouTube to put ads on videos. Just good quality content for the common man. Giving people something without asking for anything in return. You're right. It would be nice if my Giants were good. Wait. No, I never said it would be good if your Giants were good. Screw that. I want your Giants to suck. I want them to suffer because I'm sick and tired of seeing those cockroaches. Because, you know how you guys were in 2016 when you beat the Cowboys. Oh, excuse me. You got the wins against the Cowboys because you got some help from the officials. I mean, if Des Bryant hadn't dropped that catch in the end zone, if Cole Beasley hadn't dropped that one right there and fumble right there on the goal line and stuff, and Terrence Williams had gotten his ass out of bounds, you wouldn't have won that one. Okay, so don't give me that stuff. So you won. I'll give you credit on that. And you cockroaches were out there mercilessly against me all off season until we came in and we kicked that tail just like we have the last 2 years. So don't think I want your Giants to be good. I want them to be good enough that when we beat them, that it breaks your heart. How about that? But in all reality, what matters is things personally are good in my life. Mark, business is damn good over here. And see, my whole thing was, you got to count your blessings. You may not. You may look at YouTube and Instagram and all these things, and you see these people, these fantastic lives, tons of money, they're just throwing it up, sipping at the bar, chilling and everything else. That's make-believe. That's not real life. And the reality is I don't care what situation that you're in right now, there are millions of people that wish they only had your problems. And so I'm going to leave it at that because I'm thankful every morning that I wake up, and I'm thankful that I got you guys. And that's where we're going to leave it with Cold Piss because it is hate week. It is Halloween, and the trick is going to be on you Giants come Monday night. The Dallas Cowboys are going to go ahead and get some, if you know what I mean. Now, the question you have to ask, of course, it's my guilty pleasure listening to the talking heads out there, and I probably shouldn't, but I do. So the question was, are the Dallas Cowboys underachieving for this season? We're 4-3. We lost to New Orleans and Green Bay, two teams that have only lost one game each. Two teams that going into the season were ranked a hell of a lot higher than we were. Because remember, ESPN had us ranked at, 18 for a while? Right? And then the Jets happened. And the Jets, bad. So if you go by where the forecasts were, we're about where they said we would be. They said we were about, middle of the road team to maybe top 10. Well, 4-3. That's about middle of the road, top 10 team. And you have to ask yourself, well, have some teams overachieved? Because Green Bay with a new coach and a roster that wasn't really good, 7-1, you got to look and say, well, maybe they overachieved so far. San Francisco being undefeated, that team, you got to say maybe they overachieved. But you look at the Rams that came off the Super Bowl, they're the same record that we have and seem to have more problems than we have. You got to say they've underachieved. You look at the Eagles that everybody said best built team, great roster, Carson Wentz MVP candidate. You got to say that they've really underachieved. But let's hear what they have to say on here, and then we'll discuss it.
They play the Giants on Monday night. They should win that game. It gets them to 5-3. In all reality, what did he think that they would be? Do you think they would be 7-1, 6-2? Realistically, you say, yeah, they should have been 6-2. So they were one game off of that. Yes, but style points. Are you satisfied with the offense? Are you satisfied with the injuries you sustained along the offensive line? And defensively, I think that's really the only part of the team, Nick, that Jerry might be talking about. But as far as Jason Garrett and the staff, that's the reason why it's hard to coach the Dallas Cowboys. It's because just on any given Monday or Tuesday, you're going to have the owner come out and say something, and then the coaches and the players are going to have to respond to that. So I would just say, if you look at the expectations this offseason on the Dallas Cowboys, the Cleveland Browns, like these were two of the 4 or 5 hottest teams that we were talking about. So I would be just a little disappointment, but that can all be corrected the second half of the season. Now, from a player standpoint, I thought their defensive line would be better. I thought their defense would be more dominant. I mean, they would have games where they would dominate, which they did 2018 season. So special little cases. Lawrence, the defensive end, he hadn't had the type of productivity that comes with the type of price tag. So with Jerry, yes, I could echo, yes, just a little disappointment, but he didn't have to say it because it doesn't help his team.
Well, he doesn't have to say a lot of the stuff he says, but this is, and I'll add another name that people aren't talking about that I think he's probably, maybe privately a little disappointed in. Byron Jones, after an all-pro season, a guy waiting a big contract. Not that he's played poorly or terribly, but he was last year one of the production-wise 5 best corners in football. He obviously has not been that this season. But to your point about what did he expect them to be, I listened to this entire interview. He alludes, listen, he expected them to beat the Jets. He flatly said, I thought we would beat the Jets. Like, so that's how 4-3 turns into 5-2. And when you get the benefit of your home game against New Orleans comes against Teddy Bridgewater, and you once again, for the second straight year, hold them under 14 points, maybe you think you can win that game as well, and that's how you get to 6-1. But the record notwithstanding, the reason I do think it's fair to say the Cowboys have underachieved so far this year is, at the midway point of the season, there are 3 teams in this conference everyone agrees are better than them. The Niners, the Packers, and the Saints. And there are 2 more teams that I think most people would say right now are better than them. The 6-2 Minnesota Vikings and the 6-2 Seattle Seahawks. And so if you're looking at the conference and you're like, okay, only 6 teams make it. We got 3 that are clearly in a tier above us. You got another 2 that record-wise and I think eye test-wise are playing better than us. Going into the year, was the expectation for the Cowboys to be the 6th best team in the conference? It was not. Now, does that mean that's how they will end the year? Of course not. Things could change to where they could move up those rankings. Could also change to where the only thing that actually matters, they could end up being the 2nd best team in their own division, which would mean they don't go to the playoffs this year, because I don't think the NFC East is going to be a wild card, or is going to have a wild card this season. But yeah, I think the Cowboys have moderately underachieved. Not the way the Cleveland Browns have massively underachieved. Not the way I think people would say the Baltimore Ravens have moderately overachieved. The Cowboys have underachieved. They should be 5-2. They could have been 6-1. 4-3 is a little disappointing for them.
Look, Jerry Jones, for as much as he talks, is for the most part strategic when he does talk. Who do you think the message was for? Who do you think he wanted to hear that message? Was it Jason Garrett? Was it the defense? Was it the quarterback? Who do you think you wanted most to hear that message?
The media.
I think that Jerry, he is very strategic in some of the things he does, but a lot of times, though, with Jerry, and the reason why a lot of people do like him and respect him, he'll just tell you the truth. And this is just the truth. And a lot of times, people, they don't want to hear the truth, but in Jerry, this team, as Nick pointed out, you're supposed to beat the Jets. And there's nothing wrong with him saying we should have beaten the Jets. I don't think in that particular message, the team knew they should have beaten the Jets. So in that particular message, sometimes he's not sending the message. He's just trying to be more direct and cultivate his relationships that he has in the media. But in that, Jerry's telling the truth. They should have beaten them. They would have had a chance to enter the midway point with 1 loss. And then you are one of those elite teams. But where they stand right now, they are putting themselves in the jeopardy as far as how much of a margin do they have with that second half of that schedule is going to be very tough, too.
And not...
Well, I've had enough of that. Okay, well, here's the reality. Me personally, I said the team's going to go 11-5. And the reality is you have everything right in front of you. Those teams that they're talking about, you've got Minnesota is better. Well, we'll find out in 2 weeks. You beat Minnesota, boom, that moves you on up. You got to look at teams like Green Bay and, of course, the 49ers. You don't know how they're going to do as they start playing in their division. So as you start talking about teams that you're looking up at, yeah, well, maybe they had an easier part of the schedule, or maybe they end up having some injuries and things like that. Now, I'll give it to you. I think New Orleans is the best built team in the NFC. I believe in them. I thought from after what happened to them last year that team, that was their battle cry, is to make amends for being screwed over last year, because they should have been in the Super Bowl and been Super Bowl champions. And that's where you look at a team that is on a mission. The 49ers, fourth place schedule. They've played well. Their defense is outstanding, but I'm not still sold on, the 49ers being that team just yet. I need to see a little bit more. Seattle, well, Russell Wilson and crew are always great in the Northwest. Green Bay, ups and downs and stuff. They're winning, which is key, and may end up being home field advantage, although for our Cowboys, we can't beat Green Bay at home. So I think we're right about where we should be, and probably we should not have lost to the Jets, and maybe we should have gotten the one in New Orleans or the one against Green Bay. But everything is right there in front of us. You beat the Eagles. You take care of business in your division against the Redskins, the Giants, and the Eagles. You get a win against Minnesota. You take care of business against the Lions. You take care of business against the Bears. You're in great shape. So we'll just have to wait and see what we're going to see. But mind you, again, here it is. They're going through and they're trying to correct what they already said was going to happen to begin with. So now they're just kind of cleaning that stuff up. These guys picked the Cleveland Doo-Doo Browns to challenge the Patriots for the Super Bowl. And now you got Baker Mayfield pulling a Ryan Leaf. Just literally walking away from reporters. I'm out of here. Screw this. What we don't know about football is what we don't know, and that's nothing. So that's why we got to sit tight every single Sunday and watch and see what happens. I'm Mark Holmes, and we're getting ready to go, of course, to Puerto Rico on Saturday. I've got to go down the country. Got about 300 miles of driving to do to take care of a plumbing issue. It's a shame. 5 hours of driving for about 30 minutes of a repair, but hey, you got to do what you got to do. So as always, friends, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Jobu Sports Report. And just remember, it's your boy, it's your boy, it's your boy, Cold Piss. Oh, I'm sorry. Cow Patty. I'll see you guys later.